Welcome to Play By Play Sports. This is your host, Marlo Smith, coming to you with another episode. In this episode, we're going to talk about the one and only Georgia Bulldogs and the impact of how their team is going to be better in 2025. Man, I'm telling you, a lot of people been giving Georgia a lot of flack, man. Based on last season. If you look at how things turned out for the Georgia Bulldogs, granted, my Tide got them, but Georgia is a team, football team, as I said before. They don't quit. You rarely see them get blown out. And if you are up on them, as Alabama jumped up on them at home at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and those boys fought back. I've seen Georgia do that a million times. Alabama used to do the same thing when Coach Nick Saban was there. You rarely see them get, I ain't gonna say never, but you rarely see those boys get blown out because they have a never say die attitude. And the Georgia Bulldogs, with the way they played last year, first of all, let me break it down to you. I ain't never seen Georgia offense look so terrible. They were very inconsistent. But one thing I can say that I noticed about Georgia, I ain't really feeling Mike Bobo, but I don't want to put all the blame on Bobo. I watched Georgia just like I watched my Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm a Kirby Smart fan for what he did at Alabama, but I'm a college football fan in general. I watched Georgia all the way back to Boston Champ Bailey. I remember when Hines Ward used to play a million positions for the Georgia Bulldogs. So, I just follow sports just like that. But Georgia, what hurt Georgia last season, they had no big play wide receiver. Kobe Young, who transferred from Miami, he was out of there. But I still don't think if he was there, it was going to make a big difference. Because he's, to me, a possession receiver, big, tall kid who can help out, red zone. But Georgia didn't have the playmakers that they had in years past that were like a Donnie Mitchell. A lot of those boys that went pro that can get down the field. One-on-one, you dare play Georgia wide receiver one-on-one, you was going to get lit up. And we seen Georgia and Bama in some real battles. Playmakers all over the football field. Georgia was missing some talented wide receivers. And that's why they struggle on offense pretty much for the most part. They were subpar at running back, a lot of injuries. I was waiting for Branson Robinson to take off, but that knee injury really hindered him in his return. So he ended up transferring after this past season. But Georgia didn't have the depth at the running back position as they normally have or the wide receiver position. And I know with this NIL mess, it's crazy, people leaving and jumping ship. Not wanting to wait. But that's why, to me, in my opinion, why Georgia struggled a little bit on offense. Because I never seen Georgia offense look the way it's looked. Very inconsistent. I mean, it was all over the place. But they still got the head dog in charge, and that's Coach Kirby. He's been taking a lot of flack for his stance with the NIL, which I understand where he's coming from. Coach Smart has worked his butt off to rebuild the Georgia Bulldog football program by outworking every other coach in college football on a recruiting trail every year, bringing in top-tier talent year after year after year. Now the NIL, with the NIL running, out of control and players jumping from team to team, it can be frustrating. I understand that for Coach Kirby. Now, for all coaches, when there are no boundaries or no regulations in the sport today, and they let kids leave whenever they want to. You got about 500 transfer portal windows where you can just jump and go whenever you want to. Guys jumping in the portal during the season. During the middle of the season is crazy. Jumping in the portal during bowl season. This is, everybody supports the players getting something. I don't think nobody's against that. Even Coach Saban said the same thing. But you got to have some boundaries because the kids don't even respect anything. They're not playing for the love of the game anymore. And they just, pretty soon, you're going to see a lot of kids on the street that had full scholarships. They're going to run through so many schools, their NFL career going to be done with before they even get a chance to get to the draft. I seen several guys done transferred 7 times already. And it's crazy. Ain't no NFL in that future. And you ain't getting that much money by jumping from team to team. You're not getting that much. So they're going to be on the street. You hope that they get their degree. But they have to do something. But hear me out. The Georgia Bulldogs and coach Kirby Smart have a reloaded football team, and they are ready to rumble with the top programs in college football this season. I mean, offensive coordinator Mike Bobo has a new starting quarterback in Gunnar Stockton. That boy is going to be tough. I mean, tough. Carson Beck is gone. Man, forget all that. I'm not even, if I'm a Georgia fan, I ain't even sweating Carson Beck being gone. This boy Gunnar Stockton is going to rip it up. He reminds me of a bigger version of Stetson Bennett. Yep, you heard me say it. He reminds me of Stetson Bennett. This guy can run. He is strong. He has a strong arm. He can fling that football all over the field. He is tough. He reminds me of Stetson. And when you play Georgia Bulldogs, oh, you better get ready. Because if you don't protect those pass rushing lanes, he gonna get out on you. And he gonna get out real quick. And that he is very dangerous. But with Gunnar Stockton at the helm and Carson Beck on to Miami, Georgia is going to be a really explosive football team this season. I'm telling you right now, be prepared. They won't look the way they looked last season. I don't care. Georgia will not look the way they looked last season. Georgia Bulldog will be okay with Gunnar Stockton because he is more of an explosive playmaker at the position, and he can really spin the football, as I said. And he has a lot of tenacity and grit that most championship quarterbacks have. That never say die attitude. Do anything to get the job done. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I know a lot of y'all remember that Texas in the SEC championship game. Boy, that boy Gunnar took off, and man, did he get lit up. Boy, they lit him up like a Christmas tree. Knocked his helmet off, everything. He was dazed, but he got up. But he did whatever it took to wheel Georgia to a victory. And I'm telling you, let's not forget, man. Let's not forget about the playmakers that are around Gunnar, as well as starting with returning wide receiver who returning again. And that's Kobe Young, who I spoke on earlier, because he got suspended, if I'm not mistaken, last season. It won an injury, but I won't get into all that. But I think it was a suspension. But you have Kobe Young coming back. You got Vet Dylan Bell coming back. You got London Humphreys coming back. You got transfer of Noah Thomas and big play threat every time he touches the football. Zach Branch from the USC Trojans. Explosive wide receiver. Man, get ready. Get ready. Because you turn your back on Gunnar Stockton while these boys running that field, man, Gunnar going to get about 10, 15 on you. But not only that, little buddy's at wide receiver position. Little buddy Zach Branch, oh, he can get open. He can get jiggy with it. One-on-one coverage, oh yeah, he's so smooth on the route running ability, man. It's gonna drive a lot of DBs crazy. But in 2 seasons with the Trojans, Zach Branch reeled in a total of 78 catches, 832 yards, and 3 scores. But he's dangerous on special teams. He got jiggy with it on special teams too. I'm letting you know it. This boy can play some football, and being on the team with great balance and a team with a championship pedigree is going to only bring out the best in these boys. But the Dogs should be very explosive on offense this season in 2025. I do not want to see Georgia look the way they looked on offense, and I don't expect them to look that way this upcoming season. But let's not forget about big physical threat. Noah Thomas stands at 6'6", 200 pounds. Is a matchup nightmare for any defensive back. He reeled in 39 passes, 574 yards, 8 touchdowns, big red zone threat, and eye-popping 14.7 yard per catch average for the Texas A&M Aggies last season. So Georgia went out and got playmakers to add to what they already had. They went and got some boys. So you think about putting more men in the box to start the run? Nah, Georgia got some guys on the outside. They do. They're going to be ready this season. And let's not forget about tight end Oscar Delp, Lawson Lucky, and freshman tight end Elias Williams. Big dude, had star potential, standing at 6'6", 255 pounds, straight nightmare. Williams is a former 5-star prospect coming out of, I think it was Camden County High School, where he hauled in 54 passes for 789 receiving yards and 11 scores. The boy's bad. He did that as a senior in high school, but 6'6", 255 pounds, man, that's a big boy. Imagine the matchup problem they're going to have with him on the field in the red zone. He reminded me of the other tight end Georgia used to have. I forgot his name, man, but he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I forgot big boy name, but he was like that big, huge target, man. Just, I think his name was Washington, Donnell Washington or something like that. He big boy. So Georgia going to be in good hands on the offensive side of the ball. But let's not forget about the 2025 Georgia Bulldog defensive unit, led by a defensive coordinator and co-defensive coordinator. We got defensive coordinator Glenn Schumann, Travaris Robinson, who's the co-defensive coordinator. These two boys are leading the charge, man. The Dogs have some defensive players with some sharp bites, man. And players like Gabe Harris, who's stepping up. Jordan Hall. These guys been waiting their turn. Christian Miller, incoming freshman Elijah Griffin, who's ready to step in, a big-time 5-star player. Elo Mendoza, transferred from Army, who can rush off the edge. I hope I pronounced his name right. But he's a very talented, athletic player. You got Mac linebacker, Raylan Wilson, who's a star who can ball like crazy. Freshman linebacker, 5-star Zay Walker from Ellaville, Georgia, stands at 6'1", 212. He can come in and play right away. You don't have to get up to 230 to 240, 250 pounds now in the game today. You need to be able to have guys who can play in space and can hit. And Georgia always has some super aggressive linebackers, man. That's one thing. Their defense is really physical. When them boys hit you, you're going down. You rarely see Georgia players give up broken tackles. It's rare. They can hit, and they practice the way they play. When Kirby say he want them boys hit, Georgia hit. And a lot of times when they hit your guy, man, you just hope your guys get up. Because, man, sometimes people ain't going to get rolled up. Because them boys come and hit, they slide to the ground with you. And they are tough. Who else we got that was on there? They got added depth on the defensive unit. You got money linebacker, C.J. Allen, who's a star. You got former 5-star linebacker Justin Williams, who should be ready to see some playing time and added depth on the field. The secondary will be a strength, too, for the Georgia Bulldogs with Daniel Harris, who's going to be a superstar. Bro, I'm telling you right now, Daniel Harris is a superstar. That kid is going to be a lockdown corner, future first-round pick. And you got Dalen Everett, who's a really, really good player, but I think Harris is going to be better than him. Dalen came back, which he probably could have went in the draft, but he came back to better his stock because I'm telling you right now, but Daniel Harris to me is the best cornerback on that team. I don't care. He is a star. Ellis Robinson, transferred Zion Bratch from the USC Trojans. He should play better in this scheme and being around a bunch of aggressive dogs. He should pick up his play. A lot of people think these boys can't play because they was at USC, but USC didn't have the competitive spirit as in the Pac-12 and defensive masterminds like they have at University of Georgia in coaches in the SEC. But you got Jaden Harris transferred from the Miami Hurricanes. And you got Big Dog, who stepped on the field as a freshman, KJ Bolden, man in the defensive backfield, who's playing his butt off. And he should be even better this year and more around the ball more. But if you think for 1 minute that Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs aren't ready to compete for the title, you are crazy. The schedule will be tough with games against Tennessee Volunteers in week 3 at Neyland Stadium. Tennessee going to be ready. But Georgia got some. If Georgia would have been taking his team, the team they had last year to Neyland, I think they'll be in trouble. But they got some dogs. They're going to be ready to go in there and rock and roll at Neyland Stadium in week 3. Alabama Crimson Tide coming to Athens September the 27th. Yes, sir. The Crimson Tide, my boys, we coming to Athens, baby. I used to live there. They coming. So that game is going to be a knockdown, drag out battle. Who else you got? Georgia got to go play at Jordan Hare Stadium, one of the craziest football venues in the country. Against the Auburn Tigers, you got Ole Miss coming to Sanford Stadium, Lane Kiffin and the boys. The Florida Gators in Jacksonville, and Florida should be a better football team this upcoming season. So I think that should be a better game down in Jacksonville when Georgia traveled there. And you got, November the 15th against Arch Manning. Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns are coming to Athens, Georgia, to Sanford Stadium in another big-time game to play the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia went to Texas and came out with a victory. It's going to be tough coming down here, man. It's going to be tough coming to Sanford Stadium to play the Dogs between the hedges. Boy, that's going to be a good one. The whole world going to be watching that one. So the Dogs have their work cut out, man, for them this season. So expect Coach Kirby to have the boys ready to compete and go hard every single game. But I see more depth on Georgia's defensive unit and offensive side of the ball than they had last year. So be prepared for a really, really, really tough football season for the Georgia Bulldogs. But I think they'll be ready to compete and show the world what they can do. But, man, thank y'all for tuning in to Play-by-Play Sports with your host, Marlo Smith. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share this channel. Subscribe, like, and share this channel. And know that God is an awesome God and He reigns over all. I love you guys. Your host again, Marlo Smith, Play-by-Play Sports, and I'm out. Peace.